Tonight, before you sleep, you're going to do something so small it almost feels too simple. But if you do it correctly, you'll notice a change in seconds. Your chest loosens, your jaw unclenches, your mind stops racing for a moment. That moment is the first win. Comment one word right now. Just one. Now, not to impress anyone, just to mark a decision you can come back to later. Here are the 5 words. I am giving them to you immediately because I am not here to trap you with curiosity. The 5 words are gratitude, love, abundance, I receive. Now, say them with me once. Slowly. Gratitude, love, abundance, I receive now. Good. Notice your body. Even if you feel skeptical, your nervous system still heard something different. It heard pace. It heard intention. It heard a pause from the noise. And if you don't do this tonight, here's what usually happens. You lie down and your day follows you into the dark. The same loops, the same worries, the same conversations replaying, the same fear that tomorrow will feel exactly like today. This is how you interrupt that. You don't need a special cup. You don't need a perfect room. You don't need to believe hard. You need 1 minute of presence before sleep. 1 minute where your inner world stops arguing with itself. Because the water isn't a magic trick. It's an anchor. It's a simple object that keeps your attention from drifting. And attention is where your state begins to shift. Let me set the scene with you. It's late, the house is finally quieter, or maybe it isn't. Maybe there's still noise, still people, still life. But you step into a small moment that belongs to you. You fill a glass with water. You hold it with both hands. And for the first time all day you stop performing. You breathe once, slow. And this is the part that matters more than the words. You're not trying to make something happen, you're closing the day. You're telling your body you're safe enough to rest. That's why the first word is gratitude. Not gratitude because everything is fine. Gratitude because you made it here. Because you're still standing. Because you can still choose how you end your day. When you say gratitude, you don't need a speech. You need one honest point of appreciation. One small thing that's real. The fact that you're breathing. The fact that you're trying. The fact that you didn't give up completely. That small honesty is what softens your face. Then you say love. And love here is not romance. It's care. It's a 10-second ceasefire inside you. It's you stopping the inner attack. You stop calling yourself weak. You stop replaying what you should have done. You stop punishing yourself for being human. If you do that for 10 seconds, something shifts. The pressure changes shape. The mind stops screaming as loudly. Then you say abundance. Not as a greedy demand, as a reminder of possibility. Abundance is the opposite of there is no way. It's the feeling that life can still move, that the story is not finished, that you're not locked into one outcome, that you say I receive. This is where most people tighten up without realizing it, because receiving requires openness, and many people have learned to live guarded, to refuse help, to stay tense, to stay ready for disappointment. So when you say I receive, don't aim for something huge. Aim for something your body can accept without fighting. I receive peace, I receive rest, I receive clarity, I receive protection from my mind tonight. And then you say now. Now is what ends negotiation. Now is where your system understands time. Tomorrow is a promise. Yesterday is a wait. Now is a decision. If you do this slowly, you will feel the first reward right away. It might be small, but it's real. A breath that goes deeper. A thought that loses its grip. A moment where you don't feel hunted by your own mind. And that is the doorway. Because once your body learns it can enter calm even briefly, it can enter it again and again. And that repetition becomes a new path. Now here's the twist most people don't expect. The biggest mistake isn't forgetting the words. The biggest mistake is what you do immediately after. People do the 5 words, then they grab their phone. They flood their mind with noise. They reopen the day. They undo the state they just built. In the next part, I'm going to show you the one habit that quietly cancels this practice, and the simplest fix that makes it stick for 21 nights without willpower. If you tried this once and thought, I don't feel anything, listen closely, because what ruins this practice is not a lack of faith, and it's not that you said the words wrong. It's a hidden mistake most people make in the first week. Comment one word right now, presence, because that's the cure. The mistake is trying to force results. The moment you hold the glass and your mind says, this has to work, I need a sign, I need proof, you've already slipped back into the same state that keeps you stuck. Pressure, lack, control, fear, and your body recognizes that state immediately. You can say gratitude with your mouth while your chest is tight. You can say love while you're arguing with yourself inside. You can say abundance while your stomach is knotted. You can say I receive while your whole system is still bracing. When that happens, you're not doing a calming practice. You're performing a ritual while staying in survival mode. And survival mode will follow you into sleep. Here's what matters more than the words. It's the gap between the word and the feeling. When those match, even a little, your nervous system begins to trust the moment. When they don't match, you feel nothing and you blame the practice. So we're going to fix it right now with a small adjustment that changes everything. You will not use the 5 words to get something. You will use the 5 words to enter a state. That's the shift, because the real promise you can feel tonight is not a miracle outside you. It's relief inside you. A calmer body, a quieter mind, a protected sense of peace before sleep. And when you have that, Your life starts changing through different choices, different reactions, different clarity. Now I want you to do something simple the next time you hold the glass. Before you say anything, ask yourself one question in silence. What state do I want to carry into sleep tonight? Not what do I want to manifest, not what do I want to fix, not what do I want to prove. What state do I want to carry into sleep? That question removes pressure. It makes the goal small enough to be real. Now let's walk through each word the right way, as a doorway, not a demand. When you say gratitude, do not search for a big reason. Find one small, honest point. One thing you can actually feel without pretending. It can be as simple as, I'm still here, or I'm trying, or I made it through today. That tiny honesty creates the first shift. Your forehead relaxes, your breathing slows, your mind stops pushing as hard. That is your first sign that practice is working. When you say love, do not imagine a perfect life. Love here means gentleness toward yourself. 10 seconds where you stop attacking yourself. 10 seconds where you stop replaying mistakes as if punishing yourself will fix them. If you can do 10 seconds of gentleness, you will feel something soften. It may be subtle, but it's real, and that softness is relief. When you say abundance, don't jump straight to money if that triggers stress. Think in terms of space and possibility. Abundance is the opposite of there's no way. It's the feeling that life still has options, even if you can't see them yet. Most people feel resistance here. That's normal. Resistance is not failure. Resistance is the old pattern, noticing change, stay with it. Then comes the most sensitive word I receive. This is where people tighten up because receiving touches worthiness. Many people have trained themselves to believe they must earn rest, earn peace, earn good news, earn relief. So don't start by receiving something huge. Start by receiving what your body can accept without fighting. I receive calm. I receive rest. I receive peace tonight. I receive clarity. When your body learns to receive small relief, it becomes easier to receive bigger opportunities later. Your system builds trust through experience, not through hype. And then you say now. Now is the cut. Now ends the argument. Now is you saying, I don't have to solve my whole life tonight. I only have to end the day in a different place. That sentence alone can change your breathing. Now here's the part nobody tells you. Your first results will often be internal, not external. You may sleep a little deeper. You may wake up less tense. You may notice you don't spiral as quickly. You may respond to a message with more calm. You may stop replaying the same fear loop for an hour. Those are real results. And those results matter because they interrupt the cycle that keeps your life stuck. If you go to sleep in alarm, you wake up in alarm. When you wake up in alarm, you make decisions from fear. You say things you don't mean. You avoid what could help you. You miss small openings because you're bracing for impact. That's the risk you're avoiding. Now I'm going to tell you one more thing that will protect you from quitting on day 3. Do not judge the practice by one night. One night is a pause, a reset, a breath. The practice becomes powerful when it becomes consistent. But consistency does not come from motivation. It comes from a tiny system, a trigger you repeat, even when you're tired. In the next part, I am going to show you how to build a 60-second routine that sticks for 21 nights without willpower, and the easiest 15-second version you can use on your hardest days so you never break the chain. You don't need more motivation. If you depend on motivation, you'll do this 2 nights and quit on the 3rd. Then you'll look back and say it didn't work, when the truth is you didn't stay long enough for your body to accept a new pattern. Comment one short word. Stay. Just that, because this is what separates change from entertainment. Here's the problem most people don't see. They do the 5 words, feel a tiny bit better, and then they go right back into the noise. They open their phone. They watch something that spikes emotion. They scroll. They argue. They replay the day. They feed the same old state. So the practice becomes a 1-minute break, not a new direction. If you want this to actually reshape your nights, you need an anchor. A simple system that makes it happen even when you're tired, even when you're busy, even when you don't feel spiritual, even when you don't feel anything. The anchor is always the same place, same time window, same gesture. Not because the universe needs it, because your brain does. Your brain links places with states. That's why you feel sleepy in certain rooms. That's why you feel stressed in certain corners of your life. So we're going to use that to your advantage. Choose one spot in your home. It can be a kitchen counter, a chair, the edge of your bed. One spot. That spot becomes your closing point, the place where you end the day on purpose. Now choose a time window, not a strict time, just a window, like the last 10 minutes before sleep. This teaches your nervous system a new rhythm. It starts to anticipate rest instead of anticipating another round of worry. Now comes the strongest part, the thing that makes this stick. You will stop framing this as I'm doing this to manifest something huge instead. You will frame it as I'm doing this to end the day in peace. This removes pressure instantly, because when you aim for a huge outcome, your brain compares where you are to where you want to be, and it generates lack. Lack generates tension. Tension kills the state. But when you aim for peace, your system cooperates. Peace is reachable. Peace is felt. Peace is a real reward you can experience tonight. Now I'm going to give you a 60-second structure that works even on chaotic nights. First, you hold the glass with both hands. Before any words, you do one thing that changes everything. You say a closing sentence softly to yourself. Today I close. That's it. Today I close. This sentence is not magic. It's a boundary. It tells your brain the day is not allowed to keep following you into bed. And here's the micro reward for many people. Just saying that creates a wave of release. Sometimes it's a deep exhale. Sometimes it's tears. Sometimes it's a quiet realization of how long they've been carrying too much. Now you go into the 5 words, but with space between them. Gratitude, pause. 1 slow breath. Love, pause. 1 slow breath. Abundance, pause. 1 slow breath. I receive, pause. 1 slow breath. Now, longer pause. The silence between the words is where the state appears. If you rush, it becomes mechanical. If you pause, it becomes embodied. And I want you to understand something that will save you from quitting. Your early signs are not always external. Your early signs are internal. You feel slightly calmer. You fall asleep a little faster. You wake up less tense. You spiral less. You forgive yourself a little quicker. You stop replaying the same thought for an hour. That is not nothing. That is the foundation. Because the real trap is sleeping in alarm and waking in alarm. That trap keeps you reactive and makes you say things you regret. It makes you delay important actions. It makes you miss opportunities because you're too tense to notice them. This practice is not about perfection. It's about building a path your nervous system can walk again and again. Now, here's the moment where most people get pulled back. Around day 7 to day 12, your mind will start mocking you. It will say, "This is silly," or "I don't have time," or "I'm too tired," or "I'll do it tomorrow." That voice is not wisdom. That voice is the old pattern protecting itself. The old pattern would rather keep you stressed and familiar than calm and unfamiliar. So here's how you outsmart it. You lower the requirement. On nights when you feel too tired, you do the minimum version. You hold the glass, take 1 slow breath and say only 2 words, "I receive now," and you drink. That keeps the bridge alive because the brain doesn't learn through intensity. It learns through repetition. You're not building a perfect streak. You're building a new identity. The identity of someone who returns. And returning is what breaks the cycle. Now here's another small move that helps your system lock this in. After you drink, you do 1 closing gesture. The same one every night. It can be placing the glass in the sink, turning off 1 specific light, putting your hand on your chest, closing a curtain. Your body loves symbols. Symbols tell it, this is done. And that gesture becomes your off switch. In the next part, I'm going to show you how to do this even if your home is noisy, even if you share space with others, and I'll guide you through a respectful prayer version for people who want this practice to feel spiritually grounded without slipping into performance or pressure. If your nights feel like a fight, do this before you sleep. Hold a simple glass of water, speak 5 words slowly, and feel your body stop bracing for impact. Comment 1 word right now, amen, just to anchor yourself, not to perform for anyone. Let's give you relief first. Take 1 slow breath. Now say the 5 words with me, softly. Gratitude, love, abundance, I receive. Now, notice your body for 2 seconds. Even if nothing outside your life changed, your breathing shifted. That tiny shift is the beginning of protection. Now I want to speak to the person who loves God and wants peace, but feels uneasy when people turn practices into superstition. You don't need superstition. You need a calm place to land before sleep. The water is not a magic object. It's a focus point. Something your hands can hold while your mind stops spinning. And if you don't create that pause, here's the risk. The mind keeps running. Fear keeps rewriting tomorrow, and you carry the day into the night again. So tonight we're going to do this with spiritual weight and humility. We're going to pray together. Then we'll use the 5 words as a closing rhythm, so your nervous system actually settles. If you can, place both hands around the glass. Let your grip soften, let your shoulders drop. This is not a test. This is a return. Now pray with me. Speak it out loud if you can. If not, whisper it. If not, let it be in your heart. Father God, I come to you as I am. I'm tired, and I've been carrying too much. My thoughts have been loud, and I don't want to take this battle into my sleep again. Tonight, give me your peace. Quiet my mind. Slow my breathing. Release the tightness in my chest. Let my heart stop racing, Lord. Cover my home and guard my sleep. Keep fear from flooding my imagination. Keep harmful memories and harmful words from replaying in my head. Let me rest under your care. If I'm holding guilt, wash it from me. If I'm holding anger, soften it. If I'm holding grief, comfort me. If I'm holding worry, carry it for me. I don't demand outcomes and I don't bargain. I surrender this day. I release what I can't control tonight. Lead me 1 step at a time, and as I hold this water, let it remind me of renewal and mercy. Let this moment be simple, honest, and real. Let my body learn that it is safe to rest. In Jesus' name, amen. Stay with that for a second. Don't rush. Let the prayer land. This is where many people feel the first wave of relief, because they finally stopped fighting alone. Now we seal the moment with the 5 words again, but slower. Gratitude, love, abundance, I receive now. Drink slowly. Not to prove anything, to mark the end of the day. To tell your nervous system, the door is closed. And after you drink, say 1 final sentence that protects the state you just built. I am at peace. If your mind tries to argue, don't debate it. Return to your breath and repeat the sentence. And I want to be clear, because honesty builds trust. This isn't a guarantee that every problem disappears overnight. What you can expect is this: you'll start sleeping with less tension, and that changes the way you wake up. You'll react with more patience, you'll think with more clarity, you'll feel less hunted by thoughts that used to chase you. That is real progress. This is what Psalm 91 feels like in the body. Not a slogan, but a sense of being covered. A sense that the night doesn't own you. A sense that you can rest under God's care. Now here's a small challenge for tonight. After you do the ritual, protect the next 5 minutes. No scrolling, no arguments, no heavy content, just quiet. If thoughts come, let them pass like weather, because the peace you build can be undone fast if you flood your mind again. In the next part, I am going to show you the silent corridor that keeps this peace from being undone after the ritual, even if your house is noisy and your phone is buzzing. And I'll show you the one intention per night method that stops your focus from scattering. There's a moment when most people quit, and it's not because the practice failed. It's because it started working, and the old pattern fights back. Comment 2 words right now: I continue. Not for me, for you. Here's what usually happens. The first few nights feel good. You slow down, you breathe, you sleep a little easier, you wake up slightly lighter. And then your mind does what it always does. It demands a bigger result. It says, okay, but where's the proof? It wants a dramatic sign, a sudden external change, something you can point to. And the moment your mind starts chasing proof, you slip back into the same state that stole your peace in the first place. Pressure, control, fear, that subtle tension that tightens your chest. So the real challenge is not learning the 5 words. The real challenge is protecting the state you create after you say them, because this practice only needs one thing to grow: consistency. And consistency dies when you build your nights on excitement instead of structure. So today I'm going to give you the structure that keeps it alive. It's called the silent corridor. The silent corridor is the space between your ritual and your sleep. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 10, it can be 2, but it has to exist. If you don't create this corridor, here's the risk. You calm down for 1 minute, then you reopen the day. You scroll, you consume noise, you argue, you replay problems, you spike your emotions again, and the state you built collapses. That's why people say, it felt nice, but it didn't last. It didn't last because you didn't protect it. Now the corridor has 3 rules, and they are simple enough that you can do them even on hard nights. First rule: after the water, no screen, not forever. Not as a moral rule, just for the corridor. 5 minutes without a screen is enough to let your nervous system settle. Screens are designed to pull you outward. They create urgency. They flood your attention. Even calm content keeps your mind in consumption mode. Your brain doesn't read it as rest. Second rule: after the water, no conversations that reopen stress. If someone in your home wants to discuss a problem, you don't need to fight. You just say, tomorrow. You are allowed to protect your sleep. You are allowed to close the day. Third rule: after the water, one closing phrase. You will say it every night. The same words, the same tone, the same intention. Sealed. That's it. Sealed. You're not casting a spell. You're giving your brain a finish line. The brain relaxes when things end. The brain panics when things stay open. Sealed closes the loop. Now here's the part most people underestimate. This corridor doesn't just help you sleep, it trains you to stop living in reaction. Because a reactive person ends the day with the same noise they started it with. A grounded person ends the day with a choice. And choice is what changes a life. Now I want to give you a way to measure progress without chasing signs. Because chasing signs is just another form of anxiety. There are 3 quiet indicators that the practice is taking root. First, fewer thought loops. You still think. You're human, but you notice the thoughts don't trap you as long. You get a small break. You get a pause. That pause is power. A pause means the old pattern is loosening. Second, different reactions. Something happens during the day and you don't snap as fast. You don't spiral as deeply. You recover quicker. You might still feel the emotion, but you don't drown in it. That is protection in real life. Third, self-respect grows. You begin to choose sleep earlier. You begin to drink water slower. You begin to notice what drains you and what nourishes you. You begin to say no to what steals your peace. And when self-respect grows, your life changes because your standards change. Now let's address the hardest truth. Many people want the ritual to change life without changing their behavior. They want peace at night, but they keep feeding fear. They want clarity, but they fill their mind with chaos. They want protection, but they stay in environments that break them. So hear this gently. The 5 words are not a password that forces reality. They are a doorway that changes you first. Gratitude trains your attention. Love trains your inner tone. Abundance trains your sense of possibility. I receive trains your openness, now trains your presence. When you train those, you start making decisions from a different place. You send a message with calm instead of panic. You stop begging for what hurts you. You take one step you've been avoiding. You notice an opportunity you would have missed. That's how external change begins, quietly. And the corridor is what protects the training. So tonight, after you do the water, protect 5 minutes, no screen, no stress talk, one phrase, sealed. If you can do that, you will wake up different more often than you expect. In the next part, I'll show you how to build this corridor even if your home is noisy, even if you share space, and I'll teach you the 15-second emergency version for nights when you're exhausted so you never break the chain. If your home is noisy, if you share space, if your phone is buzzing and your mind won't cooperate, this is the part that saves you, because the practice is not for perfect nights, it's for real ones. Comment one short word, close, because that's what you're learning to do, even when the world stays loud. Let's start with the truth. Silence is not the absence of sound. Silence is the absence of inner battle. You can be in a quiet room and still be at war, and you can be surrounded by noise and still find a calm point inside. That calm point is what you build with this practice. And if you don't build it, the risk is simple. The day stays open. Your mind keeps scanning for danger. You carry tension into sleep. Then you wake up already tired, already guarded, already bracing. So we're going to make the silent corridor work in a messy life. First, you don't need a perfect environment. You need a tiny boundary. Your boundary is not no noise. Your boundary is no new stimulation. That's why the biggest rule still stands. After the water, no screen for a few minutes, even if the house is loud, even if people are talking. The screen is what pulls your mind into 100 directions at once. So your first win is simple. Put the phone face down, out of reach. Now, if you can't be alone, you pick a microspace, a corner of the kitchen counter, the edge of the bed, even the bathroom sink for 1 minute. It's not about privacy. It's about a moment that is yours. And then you do the next thing that makes this work in noise. You use your eyes. Look at the water for 8 seconds, just 8. While noise happens around you, you choose one point of focus. That focus becomes your inner silence. Your brain can't fully chase 10 worries while your eyes hold one target. 8 seconds is enough to begin the shift. Then you do one slow breath, and you speak the words with pauses, even if it's a whisper. Gratitude, pause. Love, pause. I receive, pause. Now longer pause. Now longer pause. When you whisper, your body hears it more. Whispering forces you to slow down. Slowing down signals safety. Safety is what allows sleep. Now let's talk about the hardest nights. The nights when you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and the thought of doing a ritual makes you want to quit. Those nights are exactly when you need the emergency version. The emergency version is 15 seconds, and it protects your chain. It prevents the old pattern from taking over completely. Here's how you do it. Hold the glass with one hand. Put your other hand on your chest. Breathe in slowly once, then say only 2 words, I receive now, and drink. That's it. No drama, no performance. Just a quick reset that tells your nervous system, we are not spiraling tonight, because the biggest danger on hard nights is not that you miss a ritual. It's that you enter a state so tense that you start doing damage. You text from panic. You pick a fight. You replay fears until 3 a.m. You punish yourself in your mind. You collapse into that familiar tightness. 15 seconds can stop the fall. And if you're thinking, that's too simple, remember this. Your nervous system doesn't need a lecture. It needs a signal, a clear repeated signal. Now here's a shift that expands your life, not just your sleep. This practice teaches you how to change state during the day. Because water is already part of your routine, you drink it anyway, so you can use it as a bridge. In the middle of a stressful afternoon, take one sip and say silently, I receive calm. Before a difficult conversation, take one sip and say, I receive clarity. When fear spikes, take one sip and say, I receive peace now. This is not superstition. It's state training. It's you interrupting the old pattern the moment it starts. And the more you interrupt, the less power the old pattern has. Now there's one more key move that people miss. If you try to receive everything, your mind scatters again. That's why you choose one intention per night. But on noisy nights, you can choose an intention that matches your reality. If the house is chaotic, your intention is calm. If you feel emotionally unsafe, your intention is protection. If your thoughts are racing, your intention is clarity. This makes the practice feel honest, and honesty creates coherence. Now I want you to imagine tonight, you're tired. The world is loud, but you still take 15 seconds. You still close the day. You still return. That is strength. And strength like that builds a new identity. Not the identity of someone who tries once and quits, but the identity of someone who returns no matter what. In the next part, I am going to show you how to choose one intention per night in a way that feels effortless, and how that single choice can create the first external shifts without chasing signs. You'll also learn the final closing sentence that seals the state so your mind doesn't reopen the day in bed. If you keep trying to receive everything at once, this is where your focus leaks out and your night starts slipping back into the old pattern. The practice doesn't fail. The aim gets scattered. Comment 2 words right now. One thing. Because tonight, you're choosing one intention and letting it be enough. Here's why this matters. Your mind can't hold 20 desires with calm. When you try, you create pressure. Pressure creates tension. Tension brings you back to the same loop you're trying to escape, and the risk is simple. You fall asleep in stress again. You wake up already bracing. You repeat the same day in a new outfit. So we're going to do this the smart way. One intention per night. Not because you're limiting your life. Because you're giving your nervous system a clear target. A clear target creates coherence. Coherence creates relief. Relief creates better sleep. Better sleep creates better decisions. Better decisions create change. Now, how do you choose your one intention without overthinking? You choose it from what feels heaviest in your body today, not what looks impressive, not what you wish you wanted, what your body is actually carrying. If your chest feels tight, your intention is calm. If you feel unsafe or watched, your intention is protection. If your thoughts won't stop, your intention is clarity. If you feel drained, your intention is rest. This is the difference between a practice that feels real and a practice that feels like pretending. And when it feels real, you stay. Now let me tell you a story that's realistic, not dramatic, because trust grows from what's believable. There was someone who couldn't sleep because their mind always returned to the same fear. Not one fear, a whole cloud of fears. Money, relationships, health, the future. They would lie down and suddenly it felt like they had to solve everything before morning. They started doing the water practice. But at first they aimed for something huge. I want abundance. And every time they said abundance, they felt more pressure. Because in their mind, abundance was attached to proving themselves, fixing everything, becoming someone else overnight. So the practice became another test. Then one night they did the simplest thing. They chose one intention that matched the truth of their body. I received rest. That was it. No big promises, no pressure, just rest. And here's what changed. They fell asleep before the worry loop started its usual performance. Not perfect sleep, not a miracle, just earlier sleep and a softer body. The next day, nothing external exploded into perfection. The bills were still there, the responsibilities were still there, but their inner state was different. And because their inner state was different, they did something they had been avoiding. They made a small decision they couldn't make while anxious. They set one boundary. They cleaned one thing up. They had one calm conversation instead of a tense one. It was quiet, but it mattered. That was the first external shift. Because external shifts usually start as behavior shifts, and behavior shifts start as state shifts. Now let's make this practical for you. Tonight, you do the 5 words the same way. Gratitude, love, abundance, I receive now. But at the I receive, you add your one intention. I receive calm. I receive protection. I receive clarity. I receive rest. Then you say now, and you drink. This single sentence turns the practice from a generic routine into a living moment. Your nervous system understands what you're doing. Your mind stops wandering. Your body begins to cooperate. Now, as you do this overnight, you will start noticing small signs. A lighter morning, a faster recovery after stress, a clearer thought, a helpful message, a new idea, a chance you would normally miss. But there's a trap here. The moment you start hunting for signs, you bring pressure back. You start watching the world like it owes you proof. You start checking your phone for validation. You start counting outcomes, and the state collapses. So here's the rule. Do not chase signs. Receive them if they come. Appreciate them, and return to the state. The state is the root. The signs are the fruit. If you stare at fruit all night, the root dries out. Now there is one more move that seals this in and stops your mind from reopening the day in bed. After you drink, you say one final sentence. The same sentence every night. I am at peace. Even if it's only a small piece, even if it's only a practice piece. Your body learns through repetition. Your brain begins to look for peace instead of scanning for danger. And when your brain stops scanning so hard, sleep becomes easier, dreams become gentler, mornings become clearer. This is what Psalm 91 feels like in daily life, not just words. A covered mind, a guarded night, a calmer inner home. In the next part, I'm going to bring everything together in a final, complete guided version you can replay tonight. You'll have the full 60-second ritual, the closing corridor, and a final message that stays with you after the video ends. We'll finish with a simple, credible invitation for those who want deeper prayers and daily consistency. If you do nothing tonight, the day will follow you into bed again. Your mind will keep replaying what hurt, what scared you, what you still don't know how to fix, and you'll wake up with the same weight on your chest, like you never truly rested. Comment this now, just to seal your decision. I start tonight. This is the final part, and I'm going to guide you through the complete practice from start to finish, in the simplest, most realistic way. No exaggeration, no impossible guarantees. Just a calm, protected ending to your day that your body can actually learn. Tonight, choose a clean glass and fill it with water. It doesn't need to be special. The power of this moment is not in the object. It's in the state you create. Dim the lights if you can. Place your phone face down and out of reach. Not forever, just for the corridor. You're giving your nervous system permission to settle. Now hold the glass with both hands. Feel the temperature, feel the weight. This pulls you out of your head and into your body. And your body is where peace starts. Take one slow breath in. Hold for a second. Let it out slowly. Now say, quietly, today, I close. That sentence is a door. You are not denying your problems. You're simply refusing to carry them into sleep. Now choose one intention for tonight. 1. Keep it honest and small enough that your body can accept it. If you feel tense, choose calm. If you feel unsafe, choose protection. If your mind is racing, choose clarity. If you feel drained, choose rest. Don't overthink. Choose what your chest needs most, Now look at the water for 2 seconds. Not as magic, as a reminder, a physical marker that you can shift your inner world. Now speak the 5 words slowly, with a pause after each one. Let the pause be part of the practice. Gratitude. Find one real point of gratitude. Something small that doesn't require pretending. The fact that you made it here. The fact that you're still trying. The fact that you're breathing. Pause. One slow breath. Love. For 10 seconds. Stop attacking yourself. Stop replaying the mistakes. Stop punishing your heart. Let the love be simple. Care. The kind you would give someone you don't want to lose. Pause. One slow breath. Abundance not as greed. As possibility, as space, as the opposite of there is no way. Let your body remember that your life is not only this one heavy moment. Pause. One slow breath. I receive. And here you add your intention. I receive calm, or I receive protection, or I receive clarity, or I receive rest. Say it gently. Let it be permission, not pressure. Pause. One slow breath. Now means you stop negotiating, you stop demanding proof. You stop pushing your mind into tomorrow. Now is where your system can actually change. Now take your first sip slowly. As you drink, notice your body. Notice if your shoulders drop. Notice if your jaw loosens. Notice if your breathing deepens. That is the first deliverable promise. Relief you can feel in real time. Take another sip. Still slow. Let your mind stay with the sensation. If thoughts pull you away, return to the glass. Return to the breath. Return to the word. Now, finish the water at your pace. Then place your hand on your chest for a moment and say one closing sentence, the same sentence every night. I am at peace. Even if it's a small piece, even if it's not perfect. Your brain learns through repetition. Your nervous system builds trust through experience. Now protect the next few minutes. This is the corridor. No screen, no arguments, no heavy conversations. If you live with others, you don't need to explain. You can simply say, tomorrow, you are allowed to protect your sleep. If thoughts come, don't wrestle them, don't chase them. Let them pass like weather. And if fear tries to pull you back into the old loop, return to one short phrase you can repeat in your mind. I receive now. That's enough. Now here's the truth that makes this sustainable. You don't need perfect streaks. You need returns. If you miss a night, you don't punish yourself. Punishment is the old pattern. The next night, you return. Even if all you can do is the emergency version. Hold the glass, one breath. I receive now, drink. That keeps the identity alive. The identity of someone who doesn't abandon themselves. And that is the deepest protection. Not a dramatic moment outside you, but a steady safety inside you. If you want to deepen your nightly practice with spiritually grounded words, click the link in the bio to access a collection of traditional and rare prayers focused on provision, peace, and steady faith. Use them as a daily anchor, not as a shortcut. Tonight, when you hold the glass, remember this: the day is closed. You are covered. You can rest.